Welcome students, myself Mayub Pasha, and today in this class we will continue with the topic that is motion. Okay, so in previous session we have discussed what is meant by motion and how to describe a motion and what is meant by motion along a straight line. So now we shall discuss first what is meant by uniform and non-uniform motion. So look at here students. Imagine this is a straight road. Okay, so here I have made some points, that is A, B, C, D, E. So here the distance between two consecutive points is what? 10 meter. That is the distance between AB is 10, the distance between BC is 10, CD is 10 and DE is 10. So now look at here. If a man is standing at A, if a man is standing at A and the distance between 2 points is how much? 10 meter. If he takes 1 second to cover 10 meter, okay, to come from A to B, or to cover 10 meter distance, if he takes first, how much time he takes to cover 10 meter distance? First he will take 1 second. Okay, so after coming at B, again to move from B to C, again if he takes 1 second, okay, again if he takes 1 second, and again from C to D, same 10 meter, no, again from C to D, if he takes 1 second, again to travel, okay, to move from D to E, again if he take 1 second, then this kind of motion is known as uniform motion. Why? Because he is covering equal distance in equal time. Okay, that is he is covering 10 meter distance in 1 second. So here he has covered distance of 10 meter in 1 second. Here he has covered distance of 10 meter in 1 second. So here also he has covered a distance of 10 meter in 1 second. So okay, so here he is covering equal distance. He is covering equal distance in equal amount of time. Okay, so this kind of motion is known as uniform motion. Okay, so if a body covers equal amount of distance in equal amount of time, then we call that motion as uniform motion. So what is it? Okay students, if a body covers equal distance, okay, if a body covers equal distance in equal intervals of time, then that type of motion is called as uniform motion. So here, as we have seen that the man is covering equal distance in equal interval of time. So this kind of motion or this kind of movement we can call it as a uniform motion. Now we shall see what is meant by non-uniform motion. So look at here students. So as I told you, this is a straight road. So there are some points. Okay, I have made some points, that is A, B, C, D, E. So here once again I'll tell you the distance between two consecutive instants or points is what? 10 meter. Now the man is at A. Okay, he is standing at A. So to move from A to B, the length of each path or each divide is 10 meter. Okay, the length between two consecutive points is 10 meter. So now the man is standing here, that is at the place A. So here, if he has taken, what is the distance here? 10 meter now. So if he has taken 1 second, assume that first he has taken 1 second to cover 10 meter. Okay, so assume that first he has taken 1 second to cover 10 meter distance again. So when he comes to B, if he take 2 seconds, to cover 10 meter distance, okay, from A to B he has taken 1 second, okay, what is going on, he will take to cover the same distance, that is to cover 10 meter distance. Now he is taking 2 seconds. Okay, so now he is taking 2 seconds again from C to D, to cover C to D, if he is taking 3 seconds. Okay, again from to cover D to E, if he is taking 1 second or 2 seconds. So look at here, students. He is covering equal distance. Okay, he is covering equal distance in an unequal time interval. Okay, so he is covering equal distance in unequal time interval. So this kind of motion or this kind of movement is known as non-uniform motion. Why? Because he is taking different amounts of time to cover the same distance. Okay, so at first to cover 10-meter distance he has taken 1 second. So in the second time to cover same 10-meter distance he has taken 2 seconds, and third time to cover again same 10-meter distance he has taken 3 seconds. So he's taking more time. Okay, so he's not covering equal distance in equal time. So okay, so this kind of motion is known as non-uniform motion. So what is meant by non-uniform motion? If a body covers equal distance in unequal time interval, or if a body covers unequal distance in equal time interval, then that type of motion is called as non-uniform motion. Okay, so look at here. If he covers, okay, so imagine there's a point A. So if he's covering 1 meter distance, okay, to cover 1 meter distance, he take 1 second. Okay, so in 1 second, okay, this is a second situation. In 1 second, he is covering 1 meter distance. Again in next 1 second, again in the next 1 second, he is covering 2 meter distance. He is covering 2 meter distance. Again in next 1 second, he is covering 3 meter distance. So this kind of motion is also called as non-uniform motion. Look at here. The time interval is same, but the amount of distance he is covering is not equal. The time interval is same, but the amount of distance that he is covering is not equal. If he covers equal amount of distance in unequal time, that is 1 second, 2 second or 3 second, or equal or unequal distance, that is 1 meter, 2 meter, 3 meter in an equal time, that is 1 second, 1 second, 1 second, then this kind of motion is we can call as non-uniform motion. Okay, so what is meant by non-uniform motion? Once again, look at here. If a body covers equal distance in unequal time interval, or if a body covers unequal distance in equal time interval, then that type of motion can be called as a non-uniform motion. Now we shall see measuring the rate of motion. Okay, so we might have seen in signboard, that is the speed of the ball is 120 km per hour, 100 km per hour. Okay, it is, you have seen such things in signboard, no, in cricket matches. Okay, what is meant by that? So it doesn't mean that the ball has covered a distance of 100 km in 1 hour, or the ball has covered a distance of 120 km in 1 hour. It is only the rate of movement of the ball or rate of movement of an object. Okay, so you know that some objects may move faster and some may move slowly. So objects will take different amount of time to cover a given distance. The objects may take different amount of time to cover a distance. So here the rate of motion is specified. The rate of motion is specified to describe the motion of an object. So here the rate of motion is calculated. The rate of motion is calculated by dividing the total distance. By dividing the total distance by total time taken. This rate of motion is described by a physical quantity. This rate of motion is described by a physical quantity that is named as speed. Okay. The rate of motion is described by a physical quantity that is named as speed. So here speed, what is speed? So speed specifies just a magnitude. Speed is having a magnitude. Speed is not having any direction. Speed will not tell the direction of a object. What will tell? Speed is having just a number. Okay, it is having just a magnitude. So here speed is what? Rate of motion. The SI unit of speed is what? Okay, SI unit of speed is what? Meter per second, or it can be written as meter per second. So in other terms, speed can be measured as centimeter per second or kilometer per hour. Okay, so speed is having only magnitude. Okay, so how speed is calculated? How the speed of the object is calculated? So here average speed. Average speed is equals to total distance covered. Total distance covered by total time taken. Okay, so how speed is calculated? Speed is calculated by total distance covered by total time taken. If average speed is if average speed is denoted by v and this is and distance is represented by s and time is represented by t. Okay, if average speed is represented by v and distance is represented by s and time is represented by t, then we can write average speed v is equals to s by t. Okay, so average speed is equals to s by t. So remember, speed is having only magnitude. Speed is having only magnitude. Speed is not having any direction. Okay, so what is speed? The distance covered by total time taken. So how to calculate speed? Total distance covered by total time taken. So what is speed? Speed is nothing but the rate of motion of an object. Okay, so speed is nothing but what? It is the rate of motion of an object.